Yo, 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 yo. Yo, is this working? I guess we're gonna start soon, 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 soon. Oh, I'm starting to get while this text was there. There we go. Let's see. Oh, my tea's not ready. My cat decided to, every time I start the stream, that's when my cat decides to wake up and stress me out. So, cat has been played with minimally. So, um, we're gonna start in a minute or so. All right. Today is going to be absolutely no holds barred. Is that the expression? No holds barred. I mean, when in doubt, ask the AI. Gonna, I should just pin this. I should just pin this. I'm going to show it every time. No holds barred expression. Is there a keyboard shortcut to change the model here, by the way? I guess that's also something I could also ask the AI to change the model in chatopenai.com. All right, I'm going to go grab my tea while this is researching expressions. Yeah, no holds barred. Nice. Learning something every day. Today is absolutely going to be buckle up day. I got a new meds prescription that make me even more hyped than usual. And there is currently no keyboard shortcut. Can I add a keyboard shortcut with Grease Monkey? Tempo Monkey. Oh, it's right there. Keyboard shortcut to switch between ChatGPT for superpowered ChatGPT. Is superpowered ChatGPT worth installing again? Like it was really driving me nuts when I was using it. It's not on the Firefox store anymore, is it? Yeah, I don't think I need to install something crazy like that. What's the little thing here? Copy. How do I click this button from JavaScript? Man, I'm so fucking lazy. I am so fucking lazy. Model switcher dot click. Yeah, that doesn't seem to work. Doesn't seem to work. Yeah, the element isn't the DOM. That's why you dispatch a real mouse event. That's what I want. Holy fucking shit. BTN button. Why can I not click this programmatically? Syntax error. This is so weird. Why wouldn't this work? Can I trace the events? I'm already getting off track. In the Elements tab, make sure the button is selected. Is this the Elements tab? I think so. And then go to Events Listeners in the right-hand bar. I'm not a web developer. This is styles, layout, computed changes, fonts, animations. Is this the elements? Actually, I can do this, right? Is it some kind of like why are the event listeners not in here? Programmatically only works in Chromium based dev tools. All right, whatever the fuck. We'll be going further. Let me reply to this. Oh, I can't do emojis in here. All right, let me grab my tea and then we'll get started with all the Manus craziness. Crazy, crazy. All right, to explain what I've done, basically, I've been putting every idea for software that I wanted into Manus lately because I had a lot of credits to burn. And as is usual with Manus, usually it's like 80% of the way there. Sometimes it doesn't work at all. Sometimes it's just like pretty jank. The website that this stuff creates lately are really, really useless. Not sure what they changed there. But you look at what we created, or like what Manus created. One of the things was some kind of graph stuff for a friend. So let's switch that up. There was some DSP visual graph kind of idea to generate Arduino sketches, not worth getting into. One thing I did was playing with rendering mermaid graphs in text. So I can put graphs into my terminal UI. Kind of working, but also like super jank. So I tried different approaches to do it. I had like a rendering application, and I had another one that would like just show the connections, allow you to add and remove the connections. I don't feel like looking at that. Actually, that was just like a variation on the previous project. I don't think that's interesting enough to look at. The one thing I want to look at is I created a course about using LibGloss Beta v2, which was announced yesterday for Charm Bracelet, that allows you to do overlays. So that would be a pretty interesting thing to look at. The second version of the website that I did to show you the kind of nonsense that Manus can do is lately I like generating GIFs using VHS, and then all of these GIFs kind of run in the wrong directory. So I'm not sure if they work. The first version, right? Like it started in the wrong directory and then it just like stopped. I don't want to waste more credits on this, so I didn't fix that. The first version of the website had like 3 out of 8. And then what we're going to do is just like try this stuff out. And it generated a course, which actually, if you look at the course on the website, which kind of disappeared entirely now, it just like put like a summary of the course online, which was like, okay, well, you wrote an actual full course. Why don't you just put that document online? Because it's better. So we'll have a little look at that. I actually want to have a zip file because often, I might have like had the adaptive mode on. I don't know. So that's one project to look at for sure is the lip gloss course. I had 2 projects now that actually look pretty dope. It's like I asked it to build a language server protocol interface for my Goja JavaScript VM, and the JavaScript VM is like what I want to build all my kind of going forward, like just LLM work on, because it just allows me to bypass MCP, to build like self-improving agents, to generate agent tools as I need them. And one part of this is going to be coding agents. So maybe we'll look at this, one of these first. I'm not sure still what we're going to look at. And of course, if someone's watching and someone has like ideas of what would be fun to build, let me know, right? Like we have an LSP interface for JavaScript. We have a tree sitter integration with JavaScript. So that one I pointed at my existing tree sitter tool, and I'm pretty sure that this actually works. So I should have asked for zip files before I did all of that. So we're going to ask for a zip file for the LSP as well. Should maybe put this into my memories, right? Create memory, always create zip file for programming projects so I can download the whole source code and use it locally. I wanted to teach it Git, and it kind of went all right or not. So we'll see. So the LibGloss V2 course is complete. And just to give you an overview of the other projects that we have here, we have the Tree Sitter Goja full package, which already has a zip file. We have, I'm actually going to skip this one because it has a key in the prompt, which was building a deep research Go API tool just to make sure that it works, and then just reuse that in my Pinocchio thing. So I gave it an OpenAI API key to basically try things out. They started adding like a thing that's called the cloud browser to share like secrets. I hope that this is going to become a more common thing to allow me to share secrets with the agents. I had it build a Slack clone that was more like a joke, because we're building a Slack bot at work, or like kind of a semi-joke where I was like, look, Slack kind of sucks as a chat tool, and they have to bank on adding like a shit ton of stuff to just keep whatever. I don't know why they keep adding like a ton of stuff that's not all that useful. I think there is a big market for very simple, kind of say programming-oriented chat tools like HipChat used to be in the days. And because it's so easy to start to build like a really polished experience, I think we're potentially going to see like a fair amount of like, decent Slack clones that are not as expensive as Slack, and maybe are AI first, because Slack is wrapping down, is cutting off basically getting your history to third-party apps, which is the life and blood of like AI agents, right? And then they want to provide their own shitty agent. So I think there's like a lot of potential here, and I kind of wanted to show, oh, you can probably build something reasonably fast. And it's also why I kind of want to learn web design maybe a little bit more, or to just make prototypes that look good, which every kid seems to be able to do these days, and which kind of makes a big difference, right? Into like how easy you can market your project. I have created a tool to do self-contained Docker binaries, where basically you can build a Go binary which contains a Docker image, but also contains the container runtime, so you don't have to have Docker installed. And the reason here is that this thing doesn't have a Docker daemon installed. So this is maybe the one we'll try first because it's so easy to test. And then it's just like, okay, well, it's possible. What other projects do we have? We do have a stream video YouTube analyzer using Gemini. So basically you give it a video, I gave it a key to test it also. So this might be interesting to look at as well, because it's fairly easy to test and validate. I started writing down some ideas, right? Like most of my work now is kind of validating what the agents did past the way they validate things, right? Because they can very easily fake their validation, where they say like, yeah, it works. And then the only thing that happened is that they were able to compile it, and then they run it and it runs in the wrong directory and it stops. And they're like, yeah, it compiled, it worked. Like I was able to run it. So you always kind of need to look at it, right? So yes. Yeah, whatever. There's a lot of knowledge proposal that I actually kind of don't want to share too much. I have a Golang app for article writing, which also uses like a web. This one I'm very skeptical about. It seemed to like not work at all. Oh, actually, the new version kind of worked. I'm not sure if it added like LLM features in there. So another thing to look at, I'm not sure I want to look at that here. And then we have the graphing engine. Then we have like the Pelican project progress tracker using event-driven stuff. Interesting to look at. I know it works. I used it at work. Not worth doing on stream. So I think the first thing we're going to start with is Oh, and then very cool. I asked it to create Go versions plus visualizers plus algorithm explanations of all the client diff algorithms. Just because I was curious to see and get some ideas on how this all works. It also kind of shows that how easy it is to clone existing stuff, basically. All right. What is OpenXR? Just saw that in the chat. All right. So we're going to start, I think, with the Go containers thing, right? Oh, and then I have my DJI mini drone path planning stuff, except that the DJI mini that I have doesn't support the SDK. This seems very, very jank. It looks great, and also it like I don't think any of it works. So that's another one we could potentially look at. It has like some pretty screenshots. I asked it to build like a shit ton of algorithms to do path smoothing, which I think also none of it works. Right? Like, I don't know, man. Also interesting, but also potentially like a big time saver and not all that interesting. I think I'm going to start with the self-contained Go container bundle, and then we'll continue with the lip gloss tutorial. Oh, I don't even know if it's good. You've got 100 credits. So the way I'm gonna tackle that is I really need to pin this somewhere. That would be pretty fun. I have a vibes repo, and in this vibes repo, I don't know how big I need to make this font. In this vibes repo, I'm just gonna by date. We're going to basically store these projects, right? So we're gonna look at the container bundle. Nope. Unzip T downloads container bundle complete. This has yeah, we're gonna do container bundler, and then we'll unzip it in here because it has top level documents. And now that we have this, we're just gonna look at what it does, right? So research findings, I don't know there's going to be any kind of like super interesting stuff in there. It will tell us there is a low-level container runtime. That's actually interesting. In C and OCI Go, hypervisor-based runtimes, okay. Static binary options, Podman static, interesting. Run C static. Key insights so far, OCI runtimes designed to be minimal. Static binaries available for some runtimes. Container images can be embedded using Go's embed directive, right? And I need to investigate that. So it continued then looking at different container to binary solutions. And I think it implemented 3. Some of them use Docker, and I'm not sure what it chose. Approach embedded Docker C style, then embed image must require Docker, and then a pure Go implementation. So it didn't seem that there was all that many things in here, right? So we have a hello demo, successfully extracted container to container root. All right, and then full execution would require root privileges for proper execution. I love running just root stuff. Okay, so this doesn't actually run it. It looks like. Does it run it? Full execution would require root privileges. Okay, well we'll look back at that. What does main.go do? Image, output, bundle, bundle mode, create a bundle binary, execute, run the bundle container version. And container bundler, bundle image, image, container, bundle image reference. So you can point it at Docker images. That's pretty cool. Execute, create a bundler image, output, Alpine bundle, hello bundle, and execute, implement container execution logic, right? That's the kind of stuff I was telling is like, sometimes it just like doesn't implement shit. What is executor.go? So, all right. And then what is bundler.go? So the bundler actually does stuff. One thing that we could do is like actually implement the executor. Can you sudo? So just continue seeing how far can I take Manus, because the idea here is to allow me to use Docker containers on Manus VM, which doesn't run Docker. So it's kind of annoying because I can't, give it a Docker compose file. So like, oh, this is all configured. Like just use that as a dev environment. So I hope my cat's not going to annoy me because that really kills my vibe. Thank God he's old and goes to sleep quickly. Oh, he's going to sleep on my expensive chair. All right, so this was kind of a meh thing for now. We're gonna actually still like commit it, right? Was there one more binary in here? No, it doesn't look like it. All right, so add incomplete container bundler, and we'll see what this all does here. Moving on. we're gonna go to the lip gloss tutorial course, right? So same procedure. We're gonna unzip this. We're gonna look at the course. Unzip T. No matches found. Why'd you put 2 backspaces in there? So yeah, so we're gonna make a lip gloss course directory, go into that, and then unzip it. All right, so what do we have here? README course package. And here we have lip gloss course, core course materials, lip gloss course website, which is not that great. Then we can go into the examples. And what we're going to do in this case, right, is like we're going to actually open cursor because the value is like in actually reading these things and learning about it. Here's our course learning path. And here's our requirements. Validation, where, yeah, it generated the GIFs, except the GIFs don't do shit. So, all right, well, we're going to have a look at that, right? And we're going to open cursor. We're going to close this dude, and we're going to open the project. Corp, vibes, 20, and then here, lip gloss course, and then lip gloss course. We have it open in cursor. The reason here is that I can chat about the code base, and the value of the code base is really in like learning about all of this. I see that there is no markdown file in here, but it did write like a pretty extensive markdown thing. So maybe that is in the website. Right, FD find MD. There is no course package. So this is, it did start, you know, a new VM because the previous one was full. So if we go all the way back to the actual VM that did the implementation, I think we can find the original course in here. And we can look at document, and then it has here mastering beautiful terminal, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to download this one since this is actually the biggest value of this project. And let me see what else is in here. Building, cool. So what is the difference here? V2, V1. Okay, no. Is this one better than the first? Oh, this is just a course structure. All right, so we're gonna move the mastering lip gloss V2 in here as well. Holy shit, why does the tab complete after my eval stuff break the backspaces? That is going to be something to investigate because that is very annoying. I had cursor optimize, mcode optimize my ZSHRC, and it did break quite a few things. So we'll look at that later. We're going to move the course to the course. Oh my God. All right, this is actually annoying. I might have to fix this pretty soon, the next time I run into this. All right, so let's look at this course. The world of terminal users. Oh, Jesus, it yapped quite a bit. Lip gloss, comprehensive course, overstated throughout this course, timing. This is like some LLM slop that's like unbelievable. It constitutes a fundamental reimagining of how terminal users' history, core architectural principles. So make this less verbose and especially less grandiose, clear, concise developer course. Oh, wait. It didn't have the file linked. All right, there we go. True encapsulation of interface components, API design philosophy. Jesus, this is unreadable. Positioning a layer involves chaining methods that clearly express the intended layout. Layer.x.y.z. Position and stacking order. All right, cool. Performance. Man, this is on. Go. Advanced positioning and layout, dynamic, real-world application, technical implementations, basic styling patterns. Lies in understanding how styles are created. So this seems similar to the old lip gloss. Style definition, color handling, border styling, layer fundamentals. Layer represents, so that's new, I think. Simple layers demonstrates how layers are created. Holy shit, I like butchered this thing. Still use full paragraphs, but cut not so aggressive. But I mean, this is nice, right? Like this is much more readable than the previous part. So all right. All right. So yeah, so this looks like a decent course. Did it remove code? Or was there just no code on the window manager demo? So paragraphs plus bullet list. Also look at the Go code to expand the latter chapters. What does dot content do? All right, cool. Let's go run some of these while it's writing. So we said we weren't here, and then lip gloss course, lip gloss course. The Go mod is in here, so we can see if it is able to install all of it. And then if we look at examples, we could just go run the first example, right? Oh, this completion is so broken. No required module. That was weird that it like didn't put that into what? Wait, how? I thought it just like installed it actually. Right? What does that mean? That it's not able to find it? Yeah, update the file, you idiot. Lip gloss, V2 beta charm bracelet. Am I missing something like Go packages still like freak me out. I just like don't fully understand them. Where they're downloaded, where they're cached, all of that stuff. So let me go look at the charm bracelet Discord, where the announcement was. log announcements, tags, and then maybe this tells me how to do it. For more info, see the compositing example. And then this does indeed use this, right? Like, why is it not able to run it here? Go version, go mod tidy, go run, examples basic styling. No required module provides, but then there is a required module that provides that. All right, maybe it's time to ask mcode, right? Or go run basic styling, explain this weird go mod error. And all right, that one stumps me. Yeah. So it does run the same error than I do. So what did it do? It did go list. Oh, see, this is like so amazing. All right, go. I don't know if 4.1 is like all that fun to use, to be honest. I've been trying, but I like keep having to say like, yeah, yes, please do it. Yes, please do it. Yes, please do it. Drop require. What does that do? But I never really had that, right? I never really had the V1 version in the Go mod, if I remember correctly. But so now this works. No, it still fucking doesn't work. What the fuck? Can I find out who requires it? Because the funny thing is that Manus actually was able to run it. I did see it. I did see it run it, and we can look at the output of Manus. It definitely was able to do that. So let me see. This is the kind of stuff that you run into quite a bit doing this kind of cleanup, where you're like, what did the VM do, and why can I not like recreate the same environment? And also, where can I find this environment? Is this the full? Because this was also inherited from the original task, but where is the original task? Oh, this is the original task. But I can't replay the whole thing because it was creating it, viewing the page, clicking elements. So this was creating the web page. And then here it created the first course, creating the file executing command, adding content to file, editing lip gloss, creating, and then here it was able to run them. So this is really fun, right? Like it was able to run this shit, and then somehow apparently it was able to break itself. Or see, I should have snapshotted it back then. It's really weird to be like, why did it break? Well, what we can do is we can try to see if this older version is able to run. And, maybe I should really go back and try out the zip stuff. And you can realize like this is really, really time consuming, right? So often it might make sense. Holy shit. Um, okay, this is driving me wild. We're going to go fix this. Amp. Oh, hold on. Amp. Somehow, wait, let me just commit stuff here. Commit intermediate CHRC, and then we have amp here. My ZHRC optimized linked to .chrc doesn't properly expand backspaced escaped characters, say white space in file names. Use tmux plus capture pane to fix and test it in CHRC optimized. Let's see if it's able to do that. In the meantime, unzip. So we have to fix this by hand for now. Very annoying. All right. So we're in the older folder. What does the Go mod look like here? There is no Go mod. And then this looks identical, right? And they're all in package main. Go mod, init, github.com, go lambs, lip gloss, course, go mod tidy, go run 01 basic styling. What the fuck? How did this work on their VM? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Where did this shit come from? The package GitHub command boba but shows the dependency path. Is there some boba in here? Weird. But boba is not even in the packages. Why is boba in there? No. All right. Is this because I use that tool chain in other projects? I feel that this is hallucinated, by the way. So I'm gonna go ask O3. Can I use, how does that custom toolchain stuff work? I don't trust you. Write a document that I can give to another AI to cross-check, explaining the problem and what you think the solution is. What is this guy doing? I don't fully trust this either. I don't trust this either. Compare to backup. I think that's the one. I don't think we need such a complicated workaround. All right, so this created a document that will explain this Go module stuff because that is very confusing to me. Oh shit, this is 4.0. Let me do this in O3. And then let me actually edit this. So I'm gonna see, I don't trust this analysis, and also I don't know enough about Go mod tool chains, handling, and cache to understand why this might happen. And what I'm doing here is basically following this again, right? It's like, I don't know what this is all about. And so I'm just going to ask the AI to fix it. In that I'm not turning into like, oh, I'm going to debug this for real. It's like, I'm just going to ask the AI to explain to me what I should do to debug this for real, to avoid wasting my precious brain on something like that. All right, so our lip gloss doesn't work. But we want to figure this out, right? So, oh, so there's, it uses the Go work in the parent. Okay. The Go work was the issue. I don't need to tell it that. So what we're going to do to fix the issue of the Go work is we're actually just going to move the vibes folder out of the Go work because we don't need it. And we do want some kind of independent usage, right? So even though it's not used in here, we're going to move the vibes folder out of there. Oh, there is a vibes folder here as well. Oh, interesting. I did run into that issue probably before, right? So we're going to add the GitHub API project, removing the binary. And no other binary. We're going to remove this. Prompts. We're going to git ignore .envrc files. All right. And we're going to go back to our other vibes. We're going to add the lip gloss course, right? What else do we have all of here? I don't think I need to commit that stuff for now. Git add, what's in this directory? Holy shit, that's where my video segmenter is. So the thing I'm looking for is I'm going to remove all the executables we have in here. Cut C. Oh, it's D. So those are all the binaries that we have. YOLO. Any new lines in here? No. All right, and then we're going to add the missing days. All right, this is all cool, cool, cool. I don't really care about like a lot of the binaries in there. It's just like this is really like a trash repo. So I'm just gonna commit it all, say like poop, add all missing binaries. We're gonna rebase this. We're gonna fetch origin. We're gonna rebase this on origin main. We're gonna push this. And then we're gonna just rebase the other vibes. Yeah, so there's binaries in there, whatever. I don't care. All right. So all right, back to the lip gloss course. Where, however, are now in a different folder, right? We are in code, vibes, no, phase and vibes on this guy, and then the lip gloss course. And hopefully this guy now works. I don't know what mcode is doing to my ZSHRC. Removed complex completion workaround. Simple configuration. So is this now working? Is that true? Unzip T, download lip mastering. Okay, so that works. And what changed here? Do you think it was that? So I'm going to commit this. Fixing completion. And then validate that the carapace thing was the issue. Just to make sure, because that would be, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Anyway, we're back into lip gloss territory, right? Code, Vazen, vibes, 28th, lip gloss course. We can do go mod tidy. We can do go mod y. No module needs that, cool. And so that means that we can now examples. Oh, the complete still doesn't work. Go run examples basic styling.go. Oh, maybe I need to refresh the ZSHRC. Cool. So we look at basic styling, right? And then func main, because there's 18 of those. We create a style, we render it, we create a style, we render it, we create a style, we render it. Very cool. In the lip gloss v2, we create a 3 styles. We create a new layer at x53, x15.6, x25.9. So let's see what this does. Undefined lip gloss new layer. That is fun. Isn't that supposed to be in here? Interesting. Right, so it's not using the right library. Maybe it's maybe not using the right version. Release, and this is the tag to use. So we could do, if we go into our beloved directory, this is where the Go mod lives. Go get huh? This is literally the v02 beta, right? Copy path of active file. Gonna add this to the workspace. Add folder to the workspace. And just go look at new layer, see if we find it. There's no new layer in here. That is so weird. There's a beta 2. Let me grab in the repo. This is interesting. Like, how did Manus manage to build this? Did Manus even manage to build this? So it was building and I was running, because I definitely saw it, right? Go run simple layers. Man, the mystery will never stop. Continue scrolling to the layer. All right, so here it failed a little bit. Oh man, why do I have to always scroll back to this? So what did it do here? It like created the file, right? And then we moved to the next step. It ran into lip gloss layer issues. It created the first one. It had to download the dev environment. And then we don't know what happened after that. So this was it building VHS, I think. But it also downloaded the Go toolchain, oddly enough, not the right one. Created this, failed at it, because lip gloss layer was not right. It looked at the Go doc, right? Found a layer, type new layer. So does this do the same? Go doc GitHub charm bracelet v2. And see, we don't have a layer here. Go list m all grep charm. Man, I'm so confused. 200 beta 2. Go get 200 beta 2. Unrename. Oh shit, it downloaded this. No, 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 no. What are you doing? I am thoroughly confused now. Why do they have this? How did they manage to get the layer? The fuck? Yeah, this is beta 2. How do I get that? Beta.2. Oh, it's a dot 2. Oh, okay. Downgraded. Cool. So now, hopefully, yes, finally, fucking finally. Okay, so we finally get this to work. That was quite the experience. What I wonder is like, why do these guys not overlap? We have 515. So if I do 10, 10, and then here we do 15. Oh, it's not X. It's like, it's more like, interesting. Code, Vazen, vibes. Well, let's try all the examples first before we dive in to see if things actually work correctly or not. We're going to go to lipgloss course and we're going to go to examples and then we're just going to go run 3. Okay. 2, 4. Yeah, man, this is fucking sweet. I'm not sure if application windows is the greatest one. Simulated animation showing multiple frames. Okay. Color showcase demo. Okay. Okay, I can deal with this. This was a fun experience. So that worked. Fixed beta v2 tag. Next Manus thing. So this was useful. I'll go back to it when I need it to use it in my widgets, right? Kind of changes the stuff you can do with it. So this guy, in the meantime, container execution fork failed / hello. Failed to start the container with shroot isolation. So why did you not fix that? Fix that if you can. And I wonder how much money I want to waste, right? Because this is going to be more and more expensive because we're just like iterating on fixing things that might be easier to fix locally, where we can just like have much more insight into what's going on. So as we are going to continue through our build things in Manus, as you can see, it's not easy usually to kind of backport that to your own environment. That's the kind of stuff I always kind of struggle with porting over lipgloss stuff. So, however, we had that. Let's go look at the tree sitter stuff because that is one that I feel more comfortable it working. So we're going to use the usual approach. We're going to unzip this for test. And the name here is tree sitter Goja complete. This is all contained in a single directory, so we can go ahead and unzip it. So we can now go into tree sitter Goja, look a little bit at what's going on over here. Is there a binary in here? There is a binary, so just like execute it. And then there is no demo.js in here. So the demo.js, maybe we can find it straight into the documents. Yeah, there is some demo.js here, right? Which we can look at. We do have the full package and the complete. That is interesting. Documents, we have these documentations which are not there, and we have the full package, which maybe we should look at. So unzip-t downloads tree sitter full package. And this has the entire stuff. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to remove all these things. Yes. And then we're going to unzip that one in the subdirectory because we do now have the demo.js, which we're going to look at first to see. And to remind people who are watching right now is this is going to be a tree sitter interface to parse JavaScript. And if we look at this, I mean, it does something, but I wonder if this is actually JavaScript running or if it just like used Go to parse the JavaScript and kind of misunderstood what I was after. So this is the thing we're going to look at now. No, so we're going to open this folder. And if we look at this folder, we're going to look at the source code. And the first thing we're going to do is, actually, did I open the wrong folder? Oh, I unzipped it in the wrong folder, right? No, I didn't. Hold on, I'm confused. Open folder. Yeah, okay. Okay, there we go. So this is probably the thing that was built to get parsed, and then the simple test is also a thing that is not there. Where does this bootstrap come from? Where does the comprehensive test come from? Where does the simple test? What's the bootstrap? The fuck? Is this something that's maybe stored in my Manus preferences? Because these are like kind of things from a previous project. So let's go check in my settings to make sure that we can kind of remove this. Usage, data control, shared tasks, shared files. No, it's not going to be in shared files. Settings, account. Where do I manage my knowledge? There. They changed the API. So is there something about Bootstrap? Oh, it's the JavaScript MCP running. Is it? When was this Bootstrap? Because it wasn't there and now it's there. Or did I delete it? Anyway, whatever. So treesitter.go, main.go. So what does main.go do? It like runs this. Do we actually, so it imports Goja, which is interesting, right? And then here's the script for the parsing. Okay, so extract the JavaScript parsing code out of the Go and into JS and use Go embed to load it. Go ahead. I'm still using GPT-4.1, but it started to get like annoying. All right, but this is quite encouraging, right? Like this actually seems that it worked, and it does download. It does have a API, which has API documentation in here. So if we look at that, there's a global tree-sitter object providing access to all modules. There is a const parser, there's a tree-sitter query, there's a get predefined queries, advanced query engine, and AST utilities. So this is all pretty fucking cool. I really like that. We're going to add that to my general thing. Why do I need to? No, I do need embed. You numbwit. What else do we have in scripts? We have nothing. We have demo.js, traverse node, count node types, traverse nodes. All right, sick. This is pretty cool. This is where the value of these things like appear, because I literally put this in at breakfast, just like shortly before I left the coffee shop, like an hour ago or so. So this is really sick, and we're going to come back to it, add tree sitter Goja library. And I asked to do the same with language server protocol, which I'm like much more skeptical about in a way that it works. But, you know, let's get surprised. So let's try the same with the Goja Golang LSP interface. Same procedure, unzip t, download Goja LSP interface. That's all in one zip. So let's let it rip. And then we're going to go in here. We're going to... There is a demo command app main. And there's no binary. So let's first go mod tidy all of this. Let's run demo command app. Running demo application, user operations on, I mean, it does something. Less readme md. So install go pls usage. All right, let's go dig a little bit deeper into this. Goja, and so it says I should run command.js example runner. Open vibes example simple demo. So I do need to go into that directory. They were not joking. Okay. Complete LSP functionality test. So we see one thing, right? Like the async wrapping, for example, didn't seem to work because maybe it was called after the, I don't know exactly. But this seems like useful, right? It does for sure start the PLS, right? Okay, so this seems to be blocking. Was the VM able to run it? Let's look at the VM. Seems to struggle to go back in history. Creating files, util test, advanced LSP examples, command.js, test, go run, LSP client created, and then it like finished. Okay, failed to initialize LSP client. Initialized this. So was it able to do something here? Example JavaScript demonstrating the advanced LSP example. So this is the thing we were looking at, and then this guy had the same problems with the async, and then the LSP test was not able to run successfully, right? So that is an interesting thing and is like typical of Manus stuff, where it would just do these kinds of things. They're like, yeah, it's successful, and then you try it out and you're like, yeah, it kind of isn't. So we already had this guy, I think, simple test. I'm not sure what that is for. Test go PLS startup, home Ubuntu, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and then test LSP, go run main.go. Yeah, there seems to be something weird with the LSP hanging. That, however, is working in the JS example runner, maybe, right? So the question when you do this kind of stuff is like, okay, how long do you want to spend on such a project and kind of try to fix it versus understanding why it's not working, and then that will give you an idea of how far you are, maybe redo it, and how much you want to give another LLM to kind of figure out what's going on here. And for example, what we have in the example runner works, right? And so if we look at it, create standalone JS LSP, new JS LSP runtime, creates a go, creates the setup, so that's fine. Close, it's going to look at this guy running JavaScript example, and so simple demo is going to create available methods. Oh, so those are the JavaScript methods. So it doesn't even call the LSP. It seems that calling the LSP actually blocks. So basically nothing here was actually really tested. So I'm going to try to get Manus to fix it, right? It's like when I start the more advanced tool, it seems that things just time out and the PLS is not reachable. Add more logging to the PLS output and to the client. Write a little Go binary to test all of this as well. So I think I asked it to build a Go binary. Let's see if that exists. fdefined main. Oops. We do have a demo command app. So let's just see if what this does for fun. Demo command app main. Oh, demo. I think that's just the code to be parsed, actually. Yeah. And here it has a package, calculator models. Okay, so that's cool. To test the raw underlying LSP functionality to make it easier to debug Then once that is working, write the JS version. You can also try to run the Go PLS separately in a tmux and use capture pane to get its output. Let's see if it's able to test it. In the meantime, we're going to commit it. It's like a starting point. This was other stuff that I was building yesterday. Carapace tutorial. Let's see. Oh shit, what is it adding? Tutorial compilation. This was like a Carapace tutorial to add documentation. I'm going to fork it and push it to my fork. All right. Oh, I seem to have added a lot of garbage in there as well. Oh, well. Oh, let's continue. Let's continue. What was I going to do, actually? This was writing a tutorial for my own tools, I think. Oh, my God. So we're going to push that as well, just to make sure that it didn't disappear. I wonder if the linting is going to go through. And then this guy's working, right? So this is going to be interesting. It did it create a client? No, it's reading the file. It's adding in it. It's looking. So this was before. So now it's building that. It's adding functionality. That's really interesting. Like this kind of building, and then even though I tell it to test the functionality, afterwards it just like implements half of it, which is really funny. So we'll let this guy build its tree sitter stuff. I'm like kind of mildly skeptical that it will work. What's the Go stuff though? Oh, it's just a formatting issue. So git add examples. Yeah, add tutorials. What's the next project we're going to look at that it built here? So we have the Slack clone. I don't think that's super interesting. We have the container stuff. We have the responses API tool, which has my API key in it. So I'm gonna switch and look at it on a different screen, download download the zip, and then we can try it out. The Go version of edit file algorithms. That's kind of fun. I think there's also a key in there. So I'm gonna also look at that in a different window. The stream video segmentation is also pretty funny. The Golang app for article writing is also pretty funny. I think all of these have LLM keys in them. I think so. We tried the lip gloss. We tried the tree sitter. We are having it work on the container stuff, right? What this proves. So was it able to run it this time? Hello from Docker. Okay, the issue, proper path, fixed how container binary paths are resolved within the shroot environment. Use the system shroot instead of Go's sysproc attr. So it's not really running a real container runtime, right? It's like it's just shrooting it by itself. Uh, so we're just using Shroot, not a fully prepared container runtime. Interesting. You're absolutely right. Hello, Sonnet. What would it take to have a complete container runtime embedded inside that binary? That's what I was asking for. All right, that's the Manus jank, right? That's like why I say it's like always 80% useful. So it's asking me to implement a full container runtime. Like, no, I'm not interested in that. Like, it's an interesting thing to do, but like, that's not what I want to spend my time on. No, like, look at third-party existing solutions. All right. So the tree-sitter one was the one that was successful. The client diff algorithm is pretty interesting. So that's maybe the one we're going to look at. Now I need to take a short break. I'll be back. I will look at how many secrets are in the project before showing it on main screen when I come back. And then hopefully we'll have something pretty fun there. And then I'll also add JavaScript bindings to that. So while I'm at the bathroom, so what was this? Bad cryptography primitives in what? In Prometheus, Klein Golang? Yeah, dude, I don't care. For now, I don't care. So I'm gonna push this to task, add glazed top level documentation. We're not gonna look at this documentation today because that's not all that useful. While this dude is building its own LSP interface, is this actually running correctly? It's starting to do more interesting stuff, right? All right, well, we'll look at that. I'll leave you with the best coding tip I can give at the moment. And uh, I'll be back in 5 minutes or so. All right, we're back. We're back, and I'm going to show you some nice background stuff while I do look at my credential-based projects. And once I have figured that out, we'll continue looking at the at the Manus output. So I'm going to download my Client Diff Explorer, and Client Diff Algorithm Complete seems pretty small. So we're going to see what that is about and if I need a bigger diff. I am currently, which you cannot see, I downloaded this zip file from Manus as we're used to. I'm looking inside for the client project. And this seems to have a bunch of Go stuff. I am going to set up an env-rc. I don't think there is a credential in there. And then since we're going to have the env-rc export Gemini API key, we're going to see what this is all about. Did I give it a Gemini API key? I did. I think it was also the wrong one. API key. So let's try the second API key I gave it. Hopefully I won't show it on stream, as I'm prone to do. Make a zip and a website that exposes them, explains them all. I will show you the website so you can see that they're pretty garbage. They changed something in their prompt and they're just like kind of like basic kind of startup overview, not like the greatest like content based websites. So I think we're ready to go back. So here we go. This is the website that it created, the client diff algorithm. There's an overview, right? And then it has these like little cards, which with the little shadow drop down. I'm starting to hate that slop. This like CSS slop. Then it gives you stuff that's like completely useless. It always tries to do like performance metrics, which is like kind of useless as well. This is maybe a little bit more interesting, right? Actually, this is like not too bad in terms of usefulness, but like, why do I need this like CSS slop around it? I do need to find better templates for all of this, right? So that I can just, so basically I pointed it at the client directory and I said like, please figure out all the diff strategies. I think it missed quite a few, to be honest. Because I saw more, I think. And then this is kind of useless, but so there's an interactive demo, which kind of doesn't work because like, what is it supposed to do? And then I think I asked it to run it against Gemini to see, but you know, it did like some nice stuff in here. Like I kind of like some of the features here. Where obviously this diff view is kind of useless. All right, anyway, let's go see what the source code does. So, oh, didn't I add this? Oh, this is a binary, right? All right. Goja LSP interface. We're still going to commit it, even though it doesn't work. Art add Goja LSP interface. I really wonder where these Bootstrap JS came from. Did it create more of those in my other things? Yeah, it kind of created them in the lip gloss course as well. I think that's the MSP, the Jesus MSP doing that. So I'm going to add this to my to-do list here. bugs to fix. Jesus seems to create Bootstrap JS in all projects. All right. Gonna do the same thing as we did before. We're going to go into our current directory. We're going to unzip, oh, we already did, the client of algorithm package. We're going to open it in cursor and then kind of have a look at it. Code, viz and vibes. And then client diff algorithm package. Nope. And deliverables. Core package. All right, cool. File editor, Gemini API integration. Okay, interesting. Dude, if the key is inside the Go file, I'm going to flip out. Editing tools, read file, write to file, and then function declarations, write to file, replace in file, list files. Okay, generate content, Gemini 2.5. Oh, it's 2.0 flash even, right? Like what's, well, let's try 2.0 first. Execute function, it gets the function called and it dispatches. It's kind of like a ad hoc dispatching. And then chat, use a message system prompt, generate content request, has function calls. If it has function calls, it calls the function, pastes this back, and then does a for loop, which breaks never. Oh no, it has like if there's no function calls left, it just returns the result. That's kind of like a fun little thing here to burn tokens without being careful. That might be something to add into all of that. So this is the file editor. File exists, list files, replace in file, construct new file content. And so then we have all the diff algorithms here, which I'm not sure if there isn't like more of them in Klein. So Klein GitHub. And then if we go to the deep wiki of this, how many different diff algorithms? All right, README. Oh, actually, let's go back to deliverables. Analysis, so test programs, command demo main, manual test, real world tests, API integration test, mock Gemini. So does this have like a real Gemini integration? Yeah, real world test, right? New file editor, test Python, test config, test large file edits. What does test large file edits do? It constrains, creates a string, writes those to file, reads those to file. Then here it replaces in file, so it doesn't call Gemini, right? What's the Gemini API? It's called chat. So do we have a usage of chat somewhere? We have it in Gemini test. And Gemini test here does generate content request, and then it calls the client, which is a Gemini client. And a new Gemini client is, oh shit, it wrote like a full client that posts. Interesting. So does this work? Is the big question, right? And we said this was being tested in the Gemini test. Test scenarios. Create a simple Python calculator in a file and then it says modify, add error handling. Pretty cool. All right, YOLO. Well, it has a file called real API validation. So let me look at that just to make sure that, again, there isn't a credential in there. I'm learning my lesson slowly. There is my API key in there. I love it. I knew it. And actually, does this API key just appear anywhere else? It does in all the main files for Gemini API Go. So I might have already exposed it. So let me just cancel that. Cancel that API key and get a new one. APIs and services, credentials, generative API lang key, delete API key, delete, delete. Has been used 91 times. Create credentials, API key. Create API key. The key is unrestricted. Edit API key to add restrictions. API restrictions. I don't know. Is this because before I could only use an API key for a certain API. Whatever. And I don't know how to copy paste these days. And then the other thing I'm going to do is in all main.go replace the API key with OS and Gemini API key. And I will have to revise my strategy to kind of give Manus access to API keys and how to prompt it. I think I should just upload a .envrc. Yeah, you did. I started looking into like there's vision models that like kind of scan your screen for API keys and like blur it. But like, man, I don't know. I need to build like a little tool for Manus to kind of like query my little tool, get an API key, I approve it with a button click, and then it's able to use that, something like that. Oh, right. Yes, please accept all. Let's see if there's anything left in here. Then I will close my terminal. And I think we're good. I think we're good. All right, we're back. We're going to go into Klein, and we see now it's here. Of course, I'm going to show my environment at some point or something. The Bootstrap JS has been has been created. So fucking annoying. Actually, how many of those do we have? Let me remove those. All right, we're going to go into Klein. Into the client clone, into the client launder. And I think the main file that we want to try is called real world test. Although there were quite a few Gemini API key. So there's focused API key test, Gemini test, and then API test. The one we're looking at was Gemini test, right? That was trying to create some cool stuff. So we're going to go into Go File Editor and then run Command API test. I have created a file called hello.py with the content hello.py. Did you? Did you really? Test 1, test basic. Oh, this is Command API test. I'm an idiot. Let's run Gemini test. Created files in directory / calculator py. All files created. But where, bro? All files created. Maybe I should run that in the debugger. I'm going to run this in a debugger. It's been a while since I run that in add running this in the debugger to launch JSON and source.envrc when doing so. And I'm actually going to vibes.gitignore. I thought I had .envrc. Why is this still in here? Like, I don't want to click on that. So what does this look like? Source.envrc. I don't think you need to do that, right? Well, we'll see. So if we run this and we go to Gemini test and we set a breakpoint here, and then I also want to put a breakpoint in Gemini generate content, and then I want to put one into execute function, YOLO. And I'm sure I'll show my API key again, like debug anyway, cannot find the task source.envrc. Goodbye. All right, so we have the source scenarios. Then it's going to go into agent chat. Agent chat. It's going to get the file editing tools. Going to create the content request. Here in generate content, the URL is going to be generative language, Google APIs, blah, 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 blah. It's going to post that. It didn't fail. That's already like a good start. Then it got the body, which is impossible to look at in the VS Code debugger. But it looks like it did get a write to file call, which is pretty amazing. And then we are going to go into execute function, write to file, and the path here, resolved path, oh, it writes it into a temp directory, right? And the path here was calculator, and then resolved path is that. So is this actually still in the, see, it has the Gemini test thing here. Does running this have a -- help? Wait, what? Go file editor, right? No, it doesn't have a -- help. So I'm going to say add to Resolve path resolves a relative path to an absolute path within a directory, and then this is the working directory of the file editor. And the file editor has been created where? It's the Gemini agent, new new file, and then this is created with a working directory in the main.go. So I'm going to add to all main.go using a working dir, a Cobra command and flag to set the working dir per default the usual temp directory. All right, well, this is neat because does it work? We have the second generate content call. It's still using 2.0 flash, but you know, whatever. And then this is going to go into list files. Why is it list files? We'll see. So this calls list files, right? The second scenario is modify the file, add error handling. So this just called list files. This calls replace in file. So what's the diff? Okay. Why did the second one say list files? It just like made sure that it was created or something like that? We'll add debug logging to the output from all of this. Then it reads the file. Refactor this to use a... Because the chat thing has the loop in here, right? Okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. Neat, neat, neat. Neat, neat, neat. Very useful because I'm going to not only... oh yeah, thank you, James. You're like way more careful than I am in scanning this output. What is this dude doing? Oh, it's just indenting it. Man, I want to have white space ignoring diffs here. It's so annoying. All right, well, this was a success. This was a success. I would file that as a success, the client diff algorithm explorer. And I am going to go back to projects that also have an API key in there. Might as well use the fact that we just did Gemini to go into the stream video segmentation. I guess I can show keys on stream because I revoked them. So this is the YouTube Analyzer Go Complete, which we'll look at next, which takes a YouTube video and then like tells me where the segments are with screenshots to take, and uses Gemini to do that. And for some reason, my new Adderall high made me crash pretty hard because I got a new manufacturer yesterday or something. I hate that stuff when it just like is... all right, so it does need a go mod tidy. We're also going to say add 0 log with default debug and add a lot of logging to the chat completion, make sure not to show the API key so that we can see the full responses. All right. We downloaded the YouTube stuff. I'm maybe gonna try not to do too many things in parallel. So Carapace is the culprit. Carapace added backspaces, added backslashes. Okay. Let me O3 this. The good thing about 4.1 is that it's fast. That I like quite a bit. So we're gonna rerun this with in the debugger. I'm gonna go mod tidy it. All right. That's the annoying thing with breakpoints. When you edit that stuff, it just like moves around like heck. All right, so what do we have here? Debug request, create a simple Python calculator, tools, and then response, candidates, function call write to file, finish reason stop. There's only one response. There's no text that goes with it, right? Sorry. All right, interesting. What about the second request? The second query here is create a simple Python calculator. Then the response of the function call, right? Function response successfully wrote role user. And so this guy now answered, I have created a file with the requested calculator program. It includes functions for addition, multiplication, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So now we're going to send the next one, which was, please modify the calculator py file to add error handling. This responded with replace in file, blah, 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 replace in file. Why are we hitting write to file? Oh, it's calling replace in file is calling write to file once it did. Okay, your helpful assistant, we send that back, and then in the last response, so here we said, we send the tools, which is annoying to parse, and we send a function response to which the model response is function call replace in file again. No. It does send a second replace in file. That's interesting. So when logging the request, don't log the tools. I want to make this readable, but also I don't know how much I care. No, okay. When the tools are called, log what they are asked to do in info. So we can get just like a little bit better view of like why this might have been called, because what is the difference with versus the first replace? Because there was 2 replaces in sequence, right? Oh, it actually went by faster. I missed this again. Final response, because I guess the breakpoints moved. So the next one is add a new function called power to calculator py, which it did, which writes to file. And then what else did we do after that? So here, however, successfully apply change, and then it, however, responds with a new replace diff and file, and then finish reason stop. Print a nice. Wow, we'll see what it does. And then the write to file. Refactor to make it a class, and then it does that too, which is great. So what did diffwiki do? There's a exact match, a line trim, and a block anchor. So that's the 3 versions that it did, which is cool. Okay. So if we run this again now with the logging, and maybe not the debug logging. All right, so write to file with args, so that's cool. Replace and file with these args, that's cool too. Then it does replace and file called with these args, that's cool too. All right, cool. I'm going to call this a success, going to commit this, and I'll see what I do with this later on. Successful Klein plus Gemini editor. All right, let's push this. Are you a bot, Flower? Yeah, an easy way. It's I think as I think an easy way to force it to use env, I think is maybe I should just add a knowledge here. In the future, when I give you API keys, I will give you an envrc file, or you should put API keys in there. I never want to see API keys in your source code finished artifacts. The current fact has to suggested new knowledge. Yeah, that's cool. When handling API keys are generated that use, store them. There we go. All right. Moving on. Push decline to rules violations. Personal access token. The following contain personal access token. API project example YAML. Okay. Thank you, GitHub. Man, that's like one of the problems with the vibe codes, right? It's like when I give Manus API keys to actually test the stuff that I want to test, right? Then this shit happens. And even though I do give them like a validity time of like 7 days, I still want to avoid that kind of stuff. So is there other files? GitHub project, GitHub project example YAML, GitHub project YAML. All right, and then we're going to do fire remove files, and then we're going to see where this actually came from. This came into this dude. So we're going to rebase interactive all the way up to there, which is now here. Whoops. Hey. Oh, it's all right. And we should be good, right? All right, now I can push. Cool. That was great. Like this is actually pretty useful, huh? And what's next? Client diff algorithm. We are going to go back to our monthly folder. We are going to unzip our YouTube thing, right? Oh shit. See, the one time I don't check up front, I fuck up. All right. The one time I don't check, it bites me. All right. Where were the keys? We're gonna see what this is here. There's a binary for sure. Yeah, the YouTube analyzer. All right, let's open this in Cursor. Open folder, YouTube analyzer. Go mod tidy. Search for API keys and replace with Gemini API key OSNV. We're going to copy the client.envrc here. And while it's searching for keys, which should have been revoked anyway, we're going to look at what this does. YouTube powered analyzer, YouTube analyzer -- API key, give it your API key. API key, Viper, log level, verbose, quiet, no color. All right, what's the README? A high performance tool, of course, high performance, technical focus. How does it work? Analysis mode quick, analysis comprehensive mode comprehensive, analyzing video, total steps, JSON output, config environment variables, YouTube analyzer API key. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to change my envarc. So I'll do that off screen. All right. So what are the prompts? There's a docs folder that is empty. There's an examples folder that is empty. There's a config, there's a package, there's a Gemini analyze video, Gen AI part. So this one uses the SDK. Generate the content. For now, we'll handle this. API call. Get modal name, video analysis. Okay. technical content assessment, developer audience assessment analysis, comprehensive. All right, cool. So YouTube Analyzer API key is the same as Gemini API key. Use either depending on what is present. All right. So if this one works too, I'd be pretty happy. I mean, this is like pretty trivial, right? It's like a tutorial example of using the YouTube analysis part, but always good to have something. So look for timestamps. This is a simplified implementation. This is also a simplified implementation. So we're going to ask it to do structured output parsing with like what is good for Gemini. Gemini structured output is YAML or JSON or XML tags or what is working well. All right, cool. This is good too. Before we know that, we're going to see what the best format is to put structured info in there. But this is already really promising, really cool. And I do have another Gemini app, I think, which is the article writer. I think. Stream video segmentation, right? That's what we're looking at right now. This is the container implementation, lib container, Go native, production ready, seccomp, usage example, battle tested, complex API, container D, requires daemon, not truly embedded, external dependency, need container D running, mini CT, minimal educational learning, no networking, educational focus, North Star, Rust language, not Go, not standard OCI images, pros, embedded optimized, Go run C bindings, external binary, still external binary, but the run C installed is pretty nice. Recommendation, ylib container, okay, cool. And this gives you a true thingy. Would you like me to implement this? Yes. What Gemini officially supports, response JSON schema, YAML XML, best efforts. Yeah, no, I want embedded. I'll have to try both, right? To have it use structured format and then also otherwise just parsing. I'm going to add YAML to the prompt and use the YAML with XML tags around the data to parse the actual values out of the response. Make it work for real. So that's also like a Manus thing where it's like, yeah, it works because I faked most methods. So maybe I'll have to prompt better next time to see like, don't fake methods, don't do half implementations. I really want everything to be real. But of course, while it's building things, I do want it to use mock things, right? So it's like it's like an interesting tension. Should I prompt Manus to do it, or should I, then just refine in Cursor or maybe in AMP code once once that is done? And here, obviously, I'm doing it in Cursor just because that's where I stayed. I wonder if this is no, this was wrong, right? Uh, so no, you should keep the most of the current prompt, but for the data you need to parse, ask it to output, for example, things as timestamps, right? And then something like timestamps so that you can easily parse them. Add a few concrete examples to the prompt as well. And this is where something where like DSPy might be interesting. I think I actually asked Manus to port DSPy to Go, if I remember correctly. Did I ask it? Yeah. I never looked at that one, actually. I should give it an API key and have it work for real. Oh, no, I did give it an API key. All right, well, that's something we could test as well. So here, it does have like some weird format stuff here, right? Just like, all right. Okay, now actually implement the YAML XML tag parsing for the extract methods. Alrighty, righty. Has seen fixes in the upstream project. All right, I don't need to source the bridge. That's cool. So I think I don't have the bridge anymore. All right, yeah. All right, cool. There was an issue with the ZHRC that I had at the beginning. DSPy Go, I we're definitely not gonna have the time to look at that today. I think we're finishing the YouTube analyzer, and then call it a Saturday because I want to play Death Stranding too. And Um, I'm curious about this one. Right? Log the API call. What's that? C-logger. Okay. Look at the response text. Logger info received response. Okay. Print out the response before parsing it. Also print each extracted value as you analyze it. And then we're going to look for like a 5-minute long tech video. I don't know. I'm going to look for like Vim sucks. (2:38). Perfect. Add debug launch JSON entry with env-file.envrc to run this against. In quick mode, add another to run in comprehensive mode. All right, YouTube, quick mode, analyze video, fucking YOLO. Oh, just go run. All right, required flag API key not set. Load API key. This should also try Gemini API key. Cool. Yes. Please make the change. Is it not loading the workspace folder .envrc? All right, let me quickly check. Maybe I named it wrong. No. No. Print out a censored version of the two env variables in debug logging because it still doesn't seem to work. Look at that funny little Bootstrap JS here. add verbose to, yeah, I can do that by hand. Debug Gemini key. Print out if empty. Why is it not loading that? Do I need like a... It doesn't seem to be loading it, even though I have a .envrc with an export Gemini API key. Good to fuck, it worked in the other one, right? Why did it work in the previous one? So funny. Okay, well, let me change that off screen as well. I'm pretty sure .envrc works for VS Code as well, because I have that in my work project. Why would .envrc not work in my Go project in VS Code when launching with Enfile? Because it definitely works in another project of mine. Gonna reload the window. Maybe it's like an initialization thing. Oh yeah, because their env extension in VS Code hadn't reloaded because I copied the file later on. So I think now it should work. Yes, it does. So let me go back. So it does analyze the video. I don't know why it like says that it did progress. Where is this analyzing video coming from? Excuse me. Progress bar. Bar. Progress callback. What is that called? Called in the analyze video progress callback. All right, we're going to restart. So progress callback, initializing an analysis. Then we have video URL validated. Now we call the analyze video with the video URL, with the different parts. And then if we look at the parts, we have 3 parts, right? You're an expert technical blah, blah, blah. Video URL, and then video URL. I don't think that this will like work well, right? Did it quit? No, it's still running, right? So it is doing something. Can we get streaming callback? That would be interesting to have. Okay, we have a response. So it's able to parse the video URL out of this. Parts, data. Jesus, this debugger is so fucking annoying. Summary. This video is comprehensive. All right. API call logger. Response string. Received. Parse response. Technologies. Yeah, no, this is the issue that I had as well, where it like just doesn't use the YouTube video at all. Right? So that is so weird. How do I analyze a YouTube video with the generative AI Gemini API by passing it a link to that video? Because I don't think that was doing it. Well, it's still not parsing the timestamp, is it, right? You are still not parsing the timestamps or the actual YAML. Do I need to switch to Sonnet? Fuck this. I hope that Sonnet, in its eagerness, right, is going to do everything in one go. Oh. And maybe that's where the Gorm comes from. Oh, see, it's file data. This is so annoying because it's going to be linted. I'm not doing something else in parallel because I'm starting to tire out. I want to wrap this one up and then it's funny that this took like 120 seconds to do it. Is like maybe is the URL like something that I didn't catch? Oh, and that's a weird cursor bug where it like actually doesn't open the URL. No, this is just about IDEs suck, right? This is so hilarious. So I'm also going to do add to the system prompt that if the model cannot access the real video, it shouldn't make shit up. Alrighty. Where are we going with all of this? Hopefully this works, and then I'll be happy and I'll have some really useful things to add to my toolbox, and I can build upon that. I wonder, like, Manus is so fucking annoying because, you know, it will like just do these like half-baked things. They're always good ways to start, but often I'm like, would it have been easier to start just with AMP? Um, Potentially. In a way, this, however, is like kind of also like chillaxing for my brain in some ways. Like it doesn't need to necessarily go faster. All of this, right? Right. Yeah, I need to. I didn't know that GoDoc could do that stuff. It could be really useful for me. All right. So that I'm going to run in a debugger again, right? Analyze video, validate video URI. Gonna remove the progress callback. So now we have analyze video, create a technical prompt. If it contains this, we append the file data, and we now generate the content. So I could add streaming API to this, right? But I am going to, the Bootstrap JS is back, fun. Gonna add the PKG, we're gonna add the command, we're gonna remove the bin YouTube analyzer, and git remove rf r cached analysis results. All right. So hopefully this works. This would be cool. What's analysis? This is garbage again. Why is this garbage again? Oh no, it does. Analysis summary. Print out the full response and analysis. Oh, it has analysis go in the results. Argues the use of IDEs, intermediate to advanced backend developers, Ruby developers, Vim enthusiasts. All right, cool. So this works, right? Holy shit, this is amazing. So YouTube video analyzer with Gemini. And I'm going to add something cool here. I mean, maybe I should add AMP. No. Add streaming Gemini completion to client.go just to display things as they come in. No need to parse the incoming completions. Because we have 10 minutes to go, so might as well add some cool shit. And then if the streaming completions work, I'll actually do streaming analysis. And then if I still have the time in those 10 minutes, I'll add a bubble T API. We'll see. Why can it not find that file? It legit says package Gemini client.go. Okay. See, maybe I should just have like AMP code and say like fix this shit. All right. We were in Gemini. No, we were in YouTube, right? All right. And then here, what was the video that we were using? Launch.json. It was this video. Oh, which I have in my... Yeah, I'm sure I have a credential on my clipboard. All right, so go run main mode quick log level debug. Is it doing the streaming stuff? It just added a method, right? Oh yeah. Add a -- stream flag to the output. Add charm bracelet bubble T pretty UI to view progress, but also the individual steps. Let's be bold. All right, I'm not going to start a parallel thread, which is what I would usually do to not be bored, because I want to be bored today. I won't switch to Twitter either. I won't do all of these things. I'll just practice my Zen. All right, anyway, I hope this was instructive in some form. I think this was a pretty good quota. I think the one thing that we struggled with was, well, the container stuff didn't work. The LSP stuff didn't work. I asked it to fix it. I'm not going to go in there and check what Manus fixed or might not have fixed. I asked it to run LSP or like Go PLS in a tmux as a way to have it be able to parse like parallel software. I think that's always quite useful to give to agents. So like, just run both things and then you can capture each pane. And yeah, we have 4 minutes to go. We might actually have a bubble T UI for all of this. Maybe we'll have structured parsing of streaming data also. Man, what a crazy world. It's like actively working to my own demise and having fun while doing it. I wonder what this UI is going to look like though. Because it did start to create like an internal UI stuff. Let's go look at it. Stream model has like keys, view, render content, render status. It like goes over the full content as a scrollable thing. Recent contact. It built its own like scrolling widget. Interesting. Render summary. Run streaming UI. Has a Go Funk. Has a result channel for the streaming UI. Interesting. This is kind of like a weird architecture what it's doing here. Kind of a weird architecture. Okay, cool. Pretty cool. I think it has like a structured output view, right? When it finishes this, but it's like it didn't catch because it had this error. So before I ask it to tweak the UI, I'm gonna try it again. Okay, I think this is enough. Yeah, actually, we have. I knew that there was a good chance that we would get our Bubble Tea UI plus streaming going before this was over, right? Which honestly is kind of crazy. Um, but that took like what, 10 minutes? So I wonder how useful the Manus stuff is overall, right? But I had a lot of credits to burn. Um, and the thing that's nice is that because of the it has a nice UI, right? So it's like fun to pick it up when you're at a coffee shop or so, and I can kind of see what it's doing and scroll back in time and stuff like that. Um, so anyway, we have uh, Sparkles add streaming plus bubble tea UI, and then we're gonna push that. And I think that's what we managed to do today, right? So we're gonna say on today's stream we managed to. So what was the first one that we did? Let me see. We did um, make a lip gloss V2 course and validate it. Make a charm. Gonna tag some people. Validate it. Then we had what? Then we had create JavaScript bindings to tree sitter using the Goja VM. All right, we had a create a self-contained container runtime plus bundler, and have a half-assed Goja bindings for LSP. Examine a half-assed, yeah. Examine a half-assed Goja bindings for LSP. Have a port the client edit file tools to go and test them with Gemini. Build a YouTube video analyzer with streaming bubble tea UI and structured data parsing. Stay tuned for the next set of Manus presents, probably on stream tonight or tomorrow. All right. I guess that was a wrap. I think that was pretty cool.